everybody. My name is Paul. I'm with Perfecto, and I'm at Droidcon Boston. That's hashtag DroidconBoss. And we've got here Chiu-Ki Chan. She is a keynote speaker today, the second day of the conference. And I had an opportunity to sit through the presentation, and pretty much everybody mind blown. It was really awesome. But I do have a few questions following up. So this is essentially, in your talk you mentioned how people should be able to get out there and be able to write and speak and do some socialization of their knowledge. Instead of just kind of sitting on your knowledge, sharing also provides you an opportunity to learn. Right. So I like that message, but really the first question I would say is for developers and practitioners and DevOps engineers who traditionally don't have a lot of incentive to go do this yourself. Right. It's not like part of their job description to do blogs, maybe. What are some incentives that they would get out of this?
2 words, career security. So what I mean by that is that as techies, we tend to just do the work and assume that the work will speak for itself, but I hate to break it to you, that's not how it works, right? When it comes to your performance review time, or your boss looking for someone to promote, whoever is able to articulate what he or she has done is the one that's going to get the rewards. Yeah. Because nobody can get into our head and like, oh, you work so hard on this particular thing, we should give you a bonus. If you're not able to, for example, explain that this is a hard problem and I solved it by putting in a lot of effort, people just assume that, oh, you got it done, so it must be easy. And then you just kind of like stew inside. It's like, I am working so hard, like why I don't get any good coming out of it. Yep. So it's a skill that everybody would benefit a lot from. Just the fact that you can explain, like tell a story of like, what is the problem, how did I solve it, and that you may not be doing external talks, external blogs, but you will still be writing, hopefully, like summary emails to your team that says, hey, this is the launch feature that I worked on, and this is kind of like the backstory, or like maybe just even in your pull request, like put it in the message, like a little bit more. Yeah. What was involved in your day-to-day work, because nobody has that visibility except you, and unfortunately, it's actually a part of your job to be able to tell others what you did, because otherwise nobody see the work, and then it just kind of all you, and then I have seen so many people burn out and just get frustrated with their career because they thought they were doing good work, but nobody knew. Correct,
and this almost, this reminds me of sort of the way that some people will talk about communication as soft skills. Right. And to me, the word soft infers easy or less important. Right. And that's not the case. No. Communication and practicing good communication in the team is the enabler to collaboration, proper collaboration.
Yeah, so even just selfishly, right, like that's why you should try to explain yourself, essentially. I mean, sharing sounds more glamorous, but like pretty much all you're doing is justifying your salary.
Yeah. The other thing I heard in your talk was how, get out there, try this out, you might get to the point where you want to present, but some of the stuff that you talked about was essentially, how do you overcome negative feedback? And if we actually scale that to the conversation here, which is about sort of the internal team, even if it's self-promotion out for job security, there's still an impact on your work where you are right now. How would you, are there some suggestions that you have for dealing with negative feedback inside your current team?
So one very important kind of point of view is that you are much harsher on yourself than you are for others. Like everybody thinks that if I do this thing, what if it's not perfect? And all these people will pile on and criticize me. But you don't do that to other people. Most people are actually nice. Like they don't on purposely try to find the flaw of everything that everybody else is doing. So just kind of flipping that mindset and just realizing that if these people are not going to be doing that, I mean, if I don't do that, they're probably not going to do that to me.
Right,
and also, and also just like the mindfulness, because I used to be if someone sent, for example, something as simple as in a group email, they ask me a question, not ask me, but ask the whole group a question, I'll be like researching, like triple checking everything before I dare to answer, because I don't want to be wrong. But then I started paying attention when somebody, quickly answer, maybe just like, oh, you can try A, B, or C. Just make sure that, like, if this doesn't work, then you should probably try this other thing. Just like lay out the steps that he's going to take without actually taking it and verifying that everything's perfectly working. And then sometimes, an hour later, he'll come back and say, well, actually, don't try A because that's not going to work. And nobody was going to be like, you were wrong the first time. So like just noticing like what happens to other people when they make mistakes, and what is the repercussion? There isn't much really, but somehow it's in our head. There's a lot of that happening. Then the other thing which I try to do more myself, I hope other people will do that too, is when you see something good, like actually tell that person, right? Like when you're doing
encourage along the way.
When you're doing like whole review, don't just nitpick on the teeny tiny thing. If you see something that is actually good, actually making a point to say that, well, I really like the way you structured this class. I really like the way that you did this thing.
This is what we're supposed to do, like back in the day, like traditional retrospective meetings.
Sure.
It's the team to come together and do what we learned, like what worked and what didn't.
Right.
And what I like in sort of that group approach is that instead of saying, you did this wrong because of X, Y, and Z, it's like, well, we did this wrong. Even though it ended up being maybe somebody, it still is an opportunity to say we or us. We own not only the code that we ship, but the process that we go through, and also we own each other in a sense, right? Like we're on this team together, we own the product, we own the goal. So it's a shared goal.
I mentioned code review because so often it became battleground. As just all the alpha males trying to like show that they are the alpha and like put down other people. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be a place where you actually encourage each other. Of course, one person can be doing that, and maybe the next person will be like, oh, I feel very good about that. Maybe I should do that too. So same on the internet. Don't just criticize people when they didn't cover everything, right? Like if they share something that's actually made your life better, tell them.
So what I'm hearing is two things. One, get better at communication. Right, that helps everything. And two, as somebody who is being communicated to, be better at receiving, right? Not just the presenter putting it out there and communicating, but also receiving things, listening to what people are really doing, and then thinking about how to encourage them, but also sort of what we're going to do better next time. Doing it as a team, not just like if I put you down, then I'm higher. That doesn't lead to good things. So we've already kind of talked about the last thing I was going to ask was about like some positive patterns that can increase like efficiency, like actual day-to-day efficiency. And it sounds like this is really related to communication and proper communication. I think a large part of it is, well, first of all, recognizing that your job is not just to produce code. I mean, that's the baseline. Like beyond that, like having a good team, like having a good, well, I want to say trust, right? Like you trust your teammate is there for you, like not there to criticize you and make sure that you don't put a comment that has typo in it. I'm like that. That is not helping anyone. So just being aware that your job is more than just to code. That there is also something bigger, like sharing knowledge and building things together. I think that goes a long way. Product is one thing, but the people that build the product are the team. So you got to get that right, just as much you got to get the code right.
Right. Exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Chiu-Ki. It was really great to talk to you. And for more information, folks, go to Twitter and go to the hashtag DroidconBoss, BOS at the end, for Boston Strong. And look forward to, she's presented her talk already. She's got her slides up there. So do most, if not all, the other speakers. So check it out for yourself. And we look forward to seeing all of you on the web.